Phase 5 of the MCU is officially underway with the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and along with it, we got our best look at the next big threat. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why I think that Kang is not just a bigger threat, but also a better villain than Thanos. What's up, Nerdgenic Nation? Superhero nerd Aaron Waller here. Now, Thanos was one of the greatest build-ups and ultimately payoffs in a lot of ways for the MCU. He was teased as early as 2012's The Avengers in a mid-credit scene, but wouldn't have his biggest involvement until 6 years later in 2018's Avengers Infinity War and 2019's Avengers Endgame. But now we have the next threat, Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors, who we didn't see until 2021's Disney Plus series Loki, where we only met a variant, and now in 2023's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So there was a lot smaller of a gap in building up of the villains, but there are several reasons why I think that Kang is much better. But before we get started, I do want to mention that this video will contain some spoilers for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first reason that Kang is better than Thanos is that Thanos thought big, but Kang is thinking bigger. Thanos' goal was to kill half the universe in order to save it after his planet Titan suffered a similar fate. Kang, or at least the one that we met in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, has the goal of creating a single sacred timeline by massacring entire universes. He would meet several variants of himself along the way that would assemble and be called the Council of Kangs, but the Kang we met in Quantumania was so bad and evil that he was banished by the Council to the Quantum Realm, which that alone should tell you that he is much more evil than Thanos, who killed half of a single universe, while Kang killed multiple universes. Now, reason number 2 that Kang is the bigger threat than Thanos is that Thanos had a fairly mindless army, with exception to his generals, the Black Order. Kang, on the other hand, is not only a genius, but it has an army comprised of variants of himself, which too are geniuses in their own right, as well as potentially endless robots created by future technology. Having too many already powerful beings fighting to control the universe is one thing, but if it comes down to a who is the better Kang, then things could get dicey and lead to their ultimate failure and defeat. On the other hand though, if they are able to work together, they may be unstoppable, and we could see a drastic change for the Marvel heroes in the future, including possibly being on the losing side more than once, like with what happened at the end of Avengers Infinity War. And speaking of Kang variants, Kang also brings the multiverse with him, that we get to see multiple Kang variants, including He Who Remains, Kang the Conqueror of course, Rama Tut, Immortus, Victor Timely, and Scarlet Centurion, just to name a few. Let me know in the comments section if you want to see a more in-depth video on those variants. But there was really only one Thanos. Well, really two, if you count that the Avengers killed the main one and then went back in time only to have the younger version of that same Thanos catch on to what they were up to in gathering the Infinity Stones. But that's just kind of semantics, as I suppose that they were the same Thanos, just at different points in their journey. But Kang brings variety in that we see a wide array of them that can have different personalities, fighting styles, and approaches to whatever way the Avengers choose to attack or retaliate. And that adds a lot of interesting directions that can be taken creatively on character by character basis, and even the grand plan that Marvel is cooking up. The next reason that Kang is better than Thanos is that he's a lot more relatable. Thanos is a giant purple alien, and though some could relate to seeing his point with killing half the universe, and his emotional journey in having to kill his adopted daughter Gamora to get the Soul Stone, we really can't relate to this guy in any way. Kang, however, at his core is human. And not only is he human, he's a descendant of the Fantastic Four's Reed Richards, or at least so we're led to believe in the comics. It's kind of up in the air. Regardless, however, Kang's background allows audiences to relate to him. He can be hurt, broken, and emotional, but thanks to his human roots, he's at his core the same as any of us. Maybe a bit crazier, but that's up for debate. And although Kang has the use of a lot of technology that allows him to be stronger, so did Thanos when he had the Infinity Stones and the Infinity Gauntlet. But Thanos did have some pretty tough skin without all or even a few of the Infinity Stones, so he had the added advantage of being a lot harder to kill. Kang though is a man with a plan, and I think his emotions will be a potential weakness in some way down the line, whereas Thanos really didn't have much of a heart to begin with. So I think that being more vulnerable will make Kang more relatable and be considered a more impactful villain in the long run. And the last reason that I think that Kang will be a better villain than Thanos is that he's a true villain at his core. He is seeking to conquer. He is literally dubbed Kang the Conqueror. As mentioned earlier, he is set on killing countless people and beings in order to achieve his goal, whereas Thanos was seeking to be a savior in his own twisted way, by killing half the universe, thus saving the other half to have a better opportunity to survive and thrive. So, once again, an argument could be made that Thanos, although not really considered to be a hero by any means, could at least be redeemable to a certain extent, whereas Kang has the potential to be a lot more nefarious and evil. So those are my reasons why I think Kang is a bigger and better villain than Thanos, and now I want to hear from you in the Nerdgenic community. Who do you think is the bigger Marvel threat? Are you Team Kang or are you Team Thanos? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos from me or the rest of the Nerdgenic team. And also be sure to give us a follow across all social media platforms at Nerdgenic. That way you don't miss out on any special news, announcements, or articles at nerdgenic.com. But in the meantime, if you want even more video content from us, check out my review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, or if you want to know the comic book history of various heroes and villains, including Kang the Conqueror, check out the History of playlist. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, we really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you in the next video.